Hi there, sports. It's part 3 of the Demonspawn Artificer. My name's Ic0n, and we're going to proceed with this wacky little adventure of this guy. And for the start of this episode, we're sitting at Lair 5. We're wearing some, well, average equipment. Not a single branded weapon showed up for this run I'm interested in. Well, there's a ruined war axe, but by now... that's actually something I want to check out. So let's start with checking out this war axe. Ah, that's why I didn't pick it up. It's stuck between 3 aqua plants, so nope. Also not an option. Way too deadly to try. I mean, I'm carrying around a resist corrosion ring, yet still, nope. I'm gonna check my resources before I return this run. Took a break for a day or such before I played on. Alright, I'm right now sitting in a bunch of teleportation scrolls. Apart from that, nothing which could help me too much in fights. Scroll of silence, yet still it's not too important for the lair. Still sitting in 2 unidentified potions, some heal wounds, 5 haste potions, certainly a lot. 3 potions of berserk rage, some curing. Alright, we're pretty set here, and 1 metric crap ton of wands. Alright, pretty decently. Off we go. Gonna check if there's anything I didn't check out here, or something I gotta be careful about. No. Alright, there's a hippogriff in my line of sight. Let's chop him down. He waited for about a day to get killed, so let's do him this favor. Alright. Let's go into Lair 5 and see what will happen. I'm really a bit anxious about this episode, because I feel like I'm so close to blow up this character for good. It's a very hard run. I feel pretty naked without a branded weapon. That's why I really be careful here. Scroll of ID, very good. We've got might potions at our disposal now. Very, very good. That's might and berserk rage as an option here. We found the entrance to the slime pits. Let's chop this slime down, and hopefully nothing too spooky appears around here. Alright, some oozes down. More oozes closing in. I'm kiting these back since I don't want to pick up my rocks between this corrosive ground. Alright, Croc and Komodo. Let's stand here, shoot some, and they're walking through this corrosive ground for me. That's good. They're softening up their set by themselves. Alright, guess I'm gonna let these bullets lie where they are. Feels a bit too dangerous to pick them up here. Another potion of curing, very good for me. There's some more curing around this corner. Yet still, I want to stuck to the outer rim here and explore around that. We found cancellation pots. Alright, I'm safe now. I can turn down marks and high corrosion values with that. Certainly happy about that. It's good to have cancellation potions open. Spiny frog. Alright, I'm happy to see another imp bro here at my side. Still, I'm really scared about these spiny frogs. There's a scimitar lying around. Another unbranded weapon saying hi to me. Wow, we're playing some no-brand crawl tonight. Alright, that's a fire area, but I'm okay with that. I'm gonna waste some of my sling bullets here into that lava snake and let the salamander get out of there. He's using some short bow into me. Alright, let's axe him down. This would have been a very dangerous situation without the fire resistance on me. But since I'm fire resistant, we'll be had absolutely no problem at all. Lucky us. Alright. Another scroll of ID. Okay, do I want to use that? I've got no acid ones ID'd. That's certainly something I want to change. Gonna ID the one that hasn't been zapped yet. I have no recharging scrolls on me. As an Artificer, you really chunk through recharging scrolls like a madman. Yet still, I see this video series as some kind of tutorial for the power of evocation items. It's certainly something you can mix in the most runs. Always depends a bit on what you find and what's at your disposal. Yet still, 5 to 10 points of evocations aren't too hard to achieve, and they really pay off a lot. Give you a lot of options without being too invested in certain things. Okay, I took this situation very badly. I overlooked the spiny frog while I was trying to get close to these electric eel. Alright, let's take that again with some more caution. Alright, I try to sling down at least one of those eel. Ooh, that doesn't work out too well. Alright, what are we going to use? I prefer to use the not identified ones here. Pump those empty. I've calculated the rest of the charges. It's 0. Good job, Ic0n. You did that very well. At least I know it's empty now. Alright, let's have a look at this scroll. That's a scroll of summoning. Alright, that's identified. Yet still, I always cry a little inside when I burn a scroll of summoning without using it to some degree. Alright, that's Lair 5 done. Gonna go downstairs for Lair 6. And we have a Catopal Pass in our front. Let's back out of this. I don't wanna stand toe to toe with the Catopal Pass on a totally unexplored floor. Rather take some blink frogs. That's safer. I'm gonna churn my last magic mapping scroll. And it's again this water setup. That means I'm facing some more aquatic enemies here. Last time I think I had some merfolk even there. I kind of remember a merfolk siren here. Don't know. Yet still, I know which area I want to avoid, and that's something useful here. Ooh, the first Death Yak pack. These are really scary dudes. 10% chance to paralyze you. Alright. That's terrible. I'm not gonna try that. Let's take a first Death Yak upstairs and see if my imps and me can chunk this dude down. Alright, that worked out. And our first elephant pack. It's getting exciting down here. Alright, let's see how this will work out. Don't want to fight 3 of these at once. Okay, gonna send some imp. Hopefully they do something here. Elephant down. Every time I kill one of these, I get some healing. Power of my clap. Very useful god here. And I already noticed that I really have to take this floor carefully and slowly. Alone the bunch of Death Yak around the corner there are something I really got to take seriously. And the area in the middle is also pretty dangerous. Alright, I can split them up. Nice. Wyvern and a spiny frog, considering my crappy situation here. Certainly scary. Hi there. There's a Hydra. There's a Harpy. Alright. So we're facing some shoal enemies around here. And we're going upstairs and hopefully chunk this Harpy down. Alright. Don't want to take this staircase again, to be honest. Rather try to bring up some more Death Yak upstairs and chunk them down. There was too much pressure hanging around that corner to take it safely. Hello, Komodo. Get over here, Komodo. A sea snake. Oh, my imp tried to take him down alone. Brave imp. Stupid imp. It's all the same. Alright. Let's hover around this staircase. I really want to be able to fall back quickly. Hello, Hornet. Can I paralyze you, Hornet? Yes, I can. I really prefer to make these beasts debilitated as hard as I can. Hornets can paralyze me, and as far as I remember, they can always do that. Alright, let's go for another paralysis here. And we have a Hydra on our toes. Let's go for the usual way of dealing with these. Okay, looks like my first demon dude didn't finish the job here. Somehow this doesn't work out as intended. I can't melee into this Hydra. It's only getting worse if I do so. Bunch of worms closing in. Alright, what we're gonna do, I think I'm gonna zap some acid wand into this guy. Alright, got it down. Let's head upstairs. Too many dudes closing in here. Alright. The rest of these are pretty harmless. I was only concerned about the frog closing in. That's why I escaped upstairs to kill it there safely. Alright. That worked out. So, getting swarmed from this area here. Hello there, Death Yaks. I was expecting you. My imp's getting totally ripped by these. And again, I'm taking these Death Yak one by one. And let's check. A fight one by one. I'm closely winning, but really more closely than everything else. That's why I'm not taking this staircase again. Way too dangerous for my taste. Alright, let's bring these guys upstairs. Okay. I'm gonna kite over to this spot here to cut down the enemy amount by one. Sounds safe to me. Alright, there's a Hydra there, but I think with a demon on my side I'm pretty able to chunk down this Hydra. I was right. Shield's up to 7 now. Still not enough to use the large shield, I think. Alright, another frog. Let's take this guy upstairs, chunk him down. There we go. Alright, the other staircase should be fine again. There was some time and wasn't that right. 7 Death Yak to go. Holy moly. That's sure a lot of Death Yak. Yet still, it'll pump up my experience really good to finish off this level. And that's something I'm looking forward to. Look at this. The standard Yak dying that easily to me. That's progress, my friends. First Yak were much more dangerous. Alright, another army. Lair 6. Look at this. Lair 6 is so brutal to us. Alright, let's escape upstairs again. I hope I can take it like that. Yeah, the cleave works out. The cleave certainly works out. Okay, one more stair dance. I really wanna bring this situation upstairs and cleave into this. Cleaving is fun. Cleaving is a very fun way to deal with lots of enemies at once. Yet still, it's also very dangerous since cleaving somewhat tempts you to be megalomaniac in certain situations. Like these. I could try to stand and fight, yet still, considering my crappy equipment here, I rather won't. And the only thing that's carrying me through this is this poison resistance armor and this broadaxe I picked up a while ago. The broadaxe is only +0, Yet still, it provides enough damage to take care of most Lair enemies here. Okay. That was a bunch of XP. Let's try this Hornet without any paralysis tricks or such. Looks like we're good to go against these. Getting slowed by it. First Swamp Worm? I haven't tried these yet. There's Cthulhu. Okay. Let's check if I can paralyze this baddie here. 10% again. It's not enough to safely pick this fight. And I really don't want to try paralyzing this dude with only a 10% chance of successful paralyzing it. Alright. Looks like we didn't bring up the petrified elephant upstairs. That's a stoned elephant. Pun intended. Alright. Let's check. I actually don't want to fight the Cthulhu on this area. I prefer some area where I'm able to safely walk around him while trying to kill him. Alright, something more like that. Because as soon as you stand too long in this calcifying dust, you will get petrified. And there's nothing you can do about that. Okay, the situation here is getting worse and worse actually. I'm trying to ice blast this dude, yet somehow there's not much happening from that. Alright, this situation is not really comfortable. If I back up into this corner, I can't avoid his calcifying dust. If I go forward, I'm stuck with this spiny frog in my face. So what I'm gonna do, major destruction. Let's go for this. Okay, I'm really close to dying right now. Too close to dying, that is. Let's step into this corner for now. Sip in the heal wound potion. I'm gonna bring up a demon here, since I hope that will chunk through these guys from behind. Got smacked again by the Komodo. I'm burning all my heal wound potions here. Having none left. Another Hydra swarms in. The only good thing happening right now is this demon swarm helping me. Alright. I'm gonna put up another demon here. Oh boys. What I'm gonna do, I really feel terrible about this situation. I guess some wanted acid might help a lot here. Yeah, that worked out. Let's hope the fear will pop. Alright, we're alive. We're out of here. We're out of all heal wound potions of this fight, yet still somehow I managed. That's Cthulhu Pass, my friends. These dudes are so obnoxiously dangerous, especially in their own game. Hydra is chunking down my demons like a madman. Let's bring up another one. Let's hope the Helving does the job. Yes, he did. My feet stretch into talons. Bye-bye, boots. So sad. But I knew that'll happen sooner or later. Okay, it cost me all my heal wound potions, yet the Cthulhu Pass is gone. That's certainly something I'm really grateful for. These dudes, I've lost a few characters to these enemies. They're so dangerous. Merfolk Avatar. Okay, let's check if I can paralyze this dude. 3%? Are you kidding me? It's horrible. It's such a horrible chance of paralyzing this dude. Alright, let's get close and axe him some. These guys are really magic resistant. Okay. Yet still I'm really happy that this avatar ran into me alone. And the army of Death Yak approaches. Okay. At least I can cover up this corner then. Okay. Oh. The elephant punched me from the stairs. And this situation is certainly getting out of hand somehow. Okay. Now he can't punch me from the stairs. Because they always only push towards the tile they face while attacking you, if that makes any sense. He would have pushed me into the wall here at this situation, so I was safe. Let's bring up some demon here. I feel like I'm not safe taking these on my own. Okay, more demons I'd say. I don't feel like taking this fight by myself right now. Took so much damage here. Okay. How much damage does he do? Up to 30. That means I can't kite around it without being too afraid of dying here. It's always useful to check out how much damage an enemy can do, to calculate the risk while just walking towards it or taking another swing or something like that. If you're getting low, check out the damage of your enemy, compare it with your HP. It helps a lot to make the proper decisions in a dangerous situation there. Alright. Looks like this vault here is chunking me up really hard. Somehow I was thinking that I was able to take down the swamp worm, yet it was really stupid for me. I was in water, my attack was really weakened by that, and yeah, okay, Necosec, no chance of taking down this Hydra at all. This Ic0n has a lot more chances because he's a summoner by himself. Alright, not making my hands dirty on these Hydra. I'm absolutely not able to do anything to them. I'm only having one weapon, which would bring more and more heads into the game. These swamp worms are certainly dangerous in this pond there. Mainly because they're pretty fast and I'm slow in water. And that makes some really nasty combination there. Hello there, Hydra. There's another one. Would have expected something like that from this level design. Okay, this is getting really ugly. Alright, I'm gonna bring up a demon to distract these dudes a bit, so they're not busy only smacking me. New bunch of spiny frogs. Let's check what our Hellwing will do here. Alright, killed one of them, killed the other one nearly. Good enough. Alright, let's check if we already got all the swamp worms. Yet I think I'm gonna bail for now. Alright. More of the dream sheep. Ooh, I feel like I'm perma-slept here. And that's why I immediately put up a demon there. Because even if I'm asleep, the demon will fight on for me. And that's something really useful against Dream Sheep. Alright. Worked out pretty decently, actually. Want a polymorph? No, thank you. I really feel like polymorph can be a very useful tool from time to time, yet still it feels a bit wonky to use, since it's very hard to calculate if it's really some good outcome or some bad outcome. It's all some matter of experience, actually, mainly. Alright, we've got enough money to buy that sweet little +5 chain armor there. Looking forward to this. I'm not gonna go for major destruction. Let's bring up this Hellwing and see what he can do. Almost finished off this Hydra for me. And I'm just gonna acid it down. There we go. I found a manual of necromancy. Interesting thing, If I ever run into a pain-branded weapon, this could be really handy. Yet, apart from that, I don't need it. I'm not opting in for spellcasting for this run. And I'm doing all my dirty work with invocations and evocations. So I'm not too interested in picking up necromancy here. It's still pain brandings, their damage scales off your necromancy skill. And that's why it could be really interesting to be able to level up necromancy. Alright, let's check this vault. I think I'm good to go here. Another ring of protection from magic. We have a lot of rings on auto pickup. I don't want to have an auto pickup actually. Alright. There's one amulet. I've got some ID, yet still I don't need to ID it, because in the last run I already identified the harm amulet, and thus we don't need to ID it. It's only magic with gem, sadly. Could have used some better equipment, and this whole ending vault situation was very dull. Nothing too interesting showed up here. That's something. Somehow I was hoping for a good weapon or something like that around there. Didn't happen. Doesn't happen every time. Alright. Dathyak are closing in large numbers. So we're again gonna bring one of these upstairs and take on the solo fight. It's going quite quicker than the last time. Looks like we're learning one or two tricks here. And somehow I'm hoping this could be the last one. And I'm gonna cleave into this, because if I take any damage, the dying yak will heal me up. And by now I feel like I'm really able to stand toe to toe with these yak. No problem. Alright. That's Lair done. We're still alive. That's actually something. Alright. I really want to bring up this this armor. It feels like it'll provide me with so much safety here. That's why I'm gonna buy this. It's gonna drain me if I ever put it down, which is certainly not too cool, considering I don't have resist poisons anymore. But I'm sitting on 8 potions of curing here, and poison is always some damage over time aspect, I'd say. Alright, we got a resistance from electricity now. That's certainly good, since I'm really apt at derping out on electricity damage, as we all know. So that's something helpful for me here. Alright, it's D11 up next. Let's check if I can take this. There was no spooky indicator for D11, and we hit 1 attack per turn with Broadaxe. Certainly good. And off to D12 we go. Brown ugly thing, yak, sky beast, orc. Let's put up the sling and let some of these bad guys come closer to us. And the ugly thing smacked me and immediately turned up my get powered by suffering mutation and got mited. That's a free potion of might proccing here. Can't say no to that. That's why I was really happy about this mutation. For fighter types, this is a very sweet mute. So good to go. Good to go here. Alright. I'm gonna bring up some demon here by myself to distract this bunch a bit. I remember the last fight with the demonologist. That's why I'm really spooked here. I really need to bring down the hornet as quick as I can, since that's a fast bugger here. This rust devil is fast as well. That's why I'm gonna bring up another demon to slow their advance. Alright. Looks like my orange demon kills this demonologist. Let's tell our allies to bring down this demonologist too. I'm pretty corroded here, yet still we won this fight. Alright, demon spamming is a very useful option for a McLeod follower, and these smaller demons certainly pack quite a punch. As we notice in the Lair, they're even strong enough to bring down Hydra. And yeah, it's always nice to have a Hydra option. A new one of enslavement. Hello there, beautiful. Alright, gonna drop invocations for now. Gonna bring up evocations again somewhat. I feel like I need some more levels in that. And evocations is good enough. Invocations is good enough for now. I can safely bring up demons with it. And thus I'm pretty happy for it now. Okay, immolation scrolls. Not yet. Okay, first Centaur Warrior, I think, for this game. Another two-headed ogre. You know what, guys? We're gonna try to Ic0n now. Let's see how this will work out. Pretty decently. A wolf spider. Okay. Actually, that went way better than I expected it to go. Jelly, acid drake, sky beast, first slime creature. These usually come in packs, so gotta keep an eye out for more of these. Wolf spider zombie, and I'm not gonna use the Greater Servant for now. Let's head back to the Orcish Mines. I really feel like I'm able to punch down one Orc Warlock by now. I have a new Wand of Enslavement at my disposal here. Thus, I feel able to win this fight. 36% chance to paralyze this Warlord. Good enough, actually, good enough. Combined with some demons, I should be able to tackle this dude. Yet still, I don't want to fight like that. And the upstairs got blocked by these dudes. Gonna bring up the Orcish Knight. For now, I'm just gonna run until the might buff expires. And I'm gonna check if I can melee him. Yeah, actually I could. Way better than I expected. Alright, let's bring this Orc Wallet upstairs. And again, I'm not feeling like taking on a fight with a mighted Orc Warrior here. And what I'm gonna do is try to enslave. Didn't work. Okay. I'm gonna sip in my agility potion, or silly me. I was already agile. I'm powered by pain. Alright. Now the Orc Warlord is pacified. So next step, going upstairs, healing up. And I think the easiest way here is to summon one more demon, sip in that Berserk Rage, and just hammer this dude down with all given brutality. I have a lot of these Berserk Rage potions up, and I didn't want to spend more charges for my wands here. Alright, and it worked out pretty fine, I'd say. I hope that's the worst part of Orcish Mines done, because that was certainly some brutal welcome party here. Orcish Warlord, lots of Orcish Warriors, 2 Orcish Knight. It's not always this hard like that. And there's a priest standing behind this pack. That's why I'm gonna get over to this corner here. And I guess I'm gonna try to sling this dude again. And let's take this troll upstairs. He's hard enough. with my remaining HP to kill. Good. Let's head back downstairs, axe these orc. Alright. Flail of Crushing. But that's some reason why I'm really eager to take the Orcish Mines here. Because I really need some better equipment, and I guess Orcish Mines is a very good place to pick up some better axes, and yeah, hopefully this will work out. And yet again, this Orc1 is really strong. It's one of the most dangerous Orc1 layouts I've run into since a whole bunch of runs. Usually there's not that much resistance on Orc1. Yet still, it's okay. By now, I manage with the stuff showing up here. And if I'm able to bring down a Orcish Warlord somehow, the rest of these dudes is somehow killable too. There's a bunch of elves here, actually. Actually, that's also very interesting, because normally these happen to show up one level deeper. Scimitar of Slicing. That would be actually pretty nice. But somehow I feel like I opted in that hard into axes. Thus, I don't want to go for something else. I'm carrying around a War Axe of Venom, and maybe that's a good thing to wear down here. All these enemies are can get poisoned, and the poison branding does some decent damage against these dudes. Yet still, nah. Gonna stick with the Broadaxe here. I feel like this does a lot more for me. The plain damage of this weapon is really good. Now, the only thing I'm lacking right now is a Scroll of Ancient brand weapon here. That's insane. That's another Orc Warlord on this level. Does the pain never stop? Doctor, why is there so much Orc Warlords in this level? Alright, gonna enslave this dude. Or not. Gonna enslave this dude. Somehow I acided him. Okay, since I fat fingered that button, I'm gonna enslave this dude. Yeah. Alright, kill this wizard for me, my minion. Alright, let's just do the same thing again. I'm gonna bring up a Hellwing, gonna sip in the Berserk Rage and hammer him down. Alright. Nah, don't wanna swap it. I just wanna upstairs. Stupid thing. Alright, there we go. That's 2 Orc Warlords down. In some games I don't kill that many Orc Warlords during the whole game. Certainly some crazy Orc1 here. High Priest. This level is so insane. Alright. I'm carefully stepping away from this situation, since I don't want to fight a High Priest like that. And with the upstairs in my back, this fight is overall way easier to take. Alright, the High Priest is standing right in front of me. And let's check how this will go. He summoned some more demons, thus I'm just taking this Orc Warrior with me. And let's head downstairs when these demons despawn. He brought up another demon, another bunch of demons actually. And we're just chickening out here until I'm getting a good shot on him. Something like that. And now I can just chunk him. And even if he had summoned demons right now, I was still right beside him, able to punch him in the face. Alright. After all this pressure, I'm really certain I'm able to deal with Orc 2 here. Somehow this should be doable. Alright. Gotta bring their first priest upstairs and smack him. Okay. Let's bring up this Orc warrior. Don't want to get mutated by the Necrosack here. Hello Ogre, bye bye Ogre. Here's some good chunk in the pocket here. And that's what I'm talking about. Even though he summoned some really dangerous demons, I was able to kill him off before something really bad happened here. Alright, a scroll of acquirement lying around here. Insane plate armor, MR triple plus. Nice stuff. Alright. Marked a few of these, since I'm not carrying around enough money for now. Right now, I'd actually prefer going for the acquirement scroll and go for a weapon, since I think my resists and my armor class is pretty okay-ish for now. Alright, 16% chance to paralyze me. What I'm gonna do? Don't have fog on me. That would be really sweet right now to be able to fog these dudes. I got the paralyze. Alright, line of sight broken. That means I'm safe from further paralyzations here. I really wanted to bring up at least one of these baddies. Didn't happen though. Alright, the stair dance continues. Bringing up the sorcerer. Luckily nothing too bad happened out of this paralysis. I really was spooked for a moment. I'm getting brutally swarmed here and getting chunked to death, but that didn't happen. Alright. This is very, very exciting. I'm waiting for some guy getting close to me here. And this Orc Knight took some might buff before he went upstairs. And that's why I'm just running away until that wears off. This might buff gives them 50% more damage, and that's nothing to be careless about. Alright, I should have went with these long swords, I tells you. Okay. This is a very dangerous Orc Wallet. He is wielding a great sword of freezing. That's certainly pretty spooky. Alright, let's go for the try of some lucky paralysis. And the lucky paralysis happened here. Nice, really nice. Gonna pump up some more strength. And my Guardian grew in power. Awesome. That's really awesome. Okay, I should have went long swords. Yet still, I don't want to swap right now. Don't feel like that's a good idea to swap at this point of the game into some completely different weapon with a very high skill level required to pull it off decently. No. And look at that, now I'm bringing up some real demons here. Alright, let's go downstairs one more time. And chunk down these dudes. The sorcerer summoned some demons. And now my mutation is practically equally strong to the summoning of a lesser servant of MacLab. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. And I'm having some smoke demon here on my side. Trying to bring down the Orc priests here. Alright, let's get upstairs. This is gonna be hard enough as it is. Gonna bring up some more demon, because right now I'm really forced to fight this until the High Priest goes down. Alright, I'm standing in front of this really spooky warlord dude. And luckily I got in another paralyze here. That's certainly a very, very warlord full run. Okay, another Orc Knight. Looks like I'm gonna escape again. Whoa, okay. Either this character sucks, or this run is certainly really dangerous to me. Okay, there we go. I mean, if we take a look at this, that's so far... How many Orc Warlords do I kill yet? Can't find them right now. It's at least 5 High Priests, 3, 4 Orc Warlords. 4 of them. That's way more Warlords than I kill in the usual games. But I've said that before. Yet still, I'm really happy how well I managed with this situation. And there's another Sorcerer. And let's bring him down for good. Battle Axe of Draining, and I got severely drained. That's really obnoxious. Another Sorcerer hanging around. Another Warrior. More Warriors. Access to 12. Very, very good. There's a McClap altar, but I'm already following my good god McClap here. Let's check. Battle Axe of Draining, that's certainly nothing I'd want to swap into. Although, nah. Gonna put up this shield pretty soon, and thus the Battle Axe is not really an option here. There's this High Priest. It's still, I can't reach him, so let's go for some stair dancing, and now I'm standing in front of him and can just smack him down. It's always really dangerous to fight into these guys if they're able to hide behind some minion, because they can just summon more and more of these, and at some point, if they start summoning some really dangerous demon, yeah, well, you're pretty screwed actually. And there's my first stone giant, or second stone giant that is. Okay, Orc Warlords, stone giants, holy moly, this run. Okay, I'm really happy that I'm repelling missiles here. Feels like this helps a lot against the threat of these stone giants. Actually, I feel like that saved my bacon here somewhat. Another Orc Knight. That's the usual stuff you meet down here. Orc Knights, lots of them. That's what I'm used to. 4 of them. Orc Warlords. Alright, Crystal Glaive would be some option, but it's a two-handed weapon, and I really feel like I want to go for a one-handed weapon and a shield. Yet still, I don't really need to run into a good brand weapon scroll. The Amulet of Vitality, very juicy here. Good Ring of Poison Resistance. That's no too important option here. Alright. Looks like we're finally done with Orc 2. No good products showed up, sadly. Yet still, well, I've got enough money to be able to put up this scroll of acquirement, so it's my best bet here. And just wish for a good weapon here. Please give me a good... What? Wow. I'm not even trying that. In the if I'm like I know my luck right now, it's some distortion branded weapon that I'm getting. abyss immediately or something like that. Alright, let's pick up these gloves. Okay, hand axe out of the acquirement scroll. Sad. Okay guys, I'm gonna wrap this episode here up. That's part 3 of the Demonspawn Artificer. Again, we had no luck with the better weapon here. We can't wear boots anymore. So overall, very challenging run. Loot wise, I'm still lacking a good weapon. That's why I have to take every fight pretty cautiously. Our wands are slowly getting drained empty. Options are getting less and less here. Yeah, yet still I'm really enjoying this run. Don't I have identified one of digging already? No, I don't. Alright, let's ID this one of digging. Kind of like the last thing to do for this episode. And again, thanks for watching. Thanks for your time, my friends. I hope you're enjoying this run as much as I do. And yeah, leave me a thumbs up or a comment. I always like to see some feedback on these videos. Makes me happy to see what you guys think about this. And yeah, see you guys on the next episode and have a good time until then. Bye bye.